Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of Music Row Hideout, the show where we hang out with artists, musicians, and entertainers in Waylon Jennings' old basement studio. My name is Jury, and as always, I'm gathered here with co-host Ryan Poole. Well, pass it to introduce the guest.
Well, tonight, on a very special episode of Music Row Hideout.
Most special.
I say it every time. I need a new one. Tonight, we have Isabel Pless. Isabel Pless is a local Nashville singer, songwriter, artist, originally from the Burlington area of Vermont.
True.
And she I guess this one, maybe you'll tell us more about your start, but I know that you kind of went full in on music during COVID.
Yes.
And then got a little bit of a TikTok following. I'm not trying to put it down to some anyway.
No.
Got a TikTok following and shot straight to the stars and pumping out singles left and right, features with Taylor. On stage,
exactly.
Opening for Phoebe. No, but you're here doing music now, and
I am.
You've been in Nashville for a year, and we're stoked to have you.
Thanks. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. So how have you found Nashville coming from the Northeast? Like, my roommate was from the Northeast. I was telling you about that earlier. Like, he is I love him to death. Very direct. I feel like in the Northeast, it's cold, it's trying to kill you, so everybody's very direct and blunt and tells you. You don't seem that blunt.
No.
But maybe you have a blunt side, or...
I will say my dad grew up in Atlanta, so I have some Southern influence.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, your phone is Bluetooth.
That's my phone on the Bluetooth.
I was like, this is never...
I was like, was that a sound effect you guys like to put in?
Yeah. Okay, that's the downside of hooking up the Bluetooth early.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyways.
Anyway, I have some Southern influence in the parental unit. So,
So one of your parents is nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my mom is a native Vermonter. I think it's just there's no formality. I feel like here I go places and people are sort of asking you, how was your day? And then random follow-up questions, and you don't get that.
Right.
Northeast. It's
especially the random follow-up questions, I bet.
Yeah, there's no continuation of the conversation. It's I'm checking you out,
Fine.
and then you leave.
Yeah. The Earth's trying to kill you by freezing you to death.
Yeah.
There's not time to go
how
was your day, sweetie honey pie?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're referencing global warming? But...
Oh, I know where you're going.
I know you do. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I used to say my wife and I are considering moving out of the state at some point to another state. Now, we're not now because we just bought a house. But
Excited.
We might still in the future. Yesterday.
Yesterday.
No, today.
That's
You're
recent.
right. No, you're right. It's today.
Wow. Congrats.
Thanks. But why would I leave Nashville? You just like playing the sound effect while I ask this question.
I've made that the sound effect of when he asked this question.
Why would I move to Vermont?
Yeah.
And leave Nashville?
You want me to make the case?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would say there's a lot more nature. That's sort of the obvious point. I feel like Nashville is just one big suburb. That's the vibe that I got when I moved here. Is I was like, this isn't a city. It's just one large suburb. And Vermont is woods and then little bits of suburb, I guess, if you wanted that. I just think people would bother you less in Vermont.
People just leave you alone.
They leave you alone. You can go live in the woods and you wouldn't have to talk to anybody. I think that maybe is the appeal of Vermont.
Are you sensing that he's an introvert?
I'm with you.
Was it the glasses? Yeah.
It's when you go to the grocery store here, I have to steel myself for the conversation, and that's... I don't always love
Wesley
that.
said that's the best argument he put on the screen. You didn't see, but he says the best argument so far. I ask everybody this, why I should move to where they're from.
Okay, all of you guys are misanthropes. No one's used that in a sentence in 70 years, by the way, misanthrope.
True.
You guys are all go to the woods, fuck people.
Yeah.
That is how I feel, though, a lot of times.
Yeah.
That
is.
does sound nice.
Or having the choice, at least.
Yeah, now maple syrup's big over there.
Huge. Love maple syrup.
So I had maple syrup today.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, real maple syrup.
On what?
French toast.
Love that.
There was some judgment in that on what.
I know. Like, what could I have said that was wrong? If I'd been like pancakes, been like, fuck you. You and your pancakes.
I'm always curious.
Yeah. No, French toast, which my wife made for me, which was very nice.
That's very nice.
She came into my office at 9:30 and said, I'm going to make some French toast. Do you want some? I said, yeah, I'm so hungry. The French toast arrived at 1 o'clock.
And by the way, who are you?
Huh?
And by the way, who are you?
Who am I? Oh,
French toast making lady. Yeah. I make fun of his wife because she's my sister.
Oh, well,
yeah.
you have to.
you got to do it. And, I got the real maple syrup. About the real stuff. Right from a tree.
Yeah.
And I got to be real. Like, I always buy the real stuff because it's what I should do. But you know what? When you eat the fake stuff, it's not that different. They're just sugar water. Like, I don't understand maple syrup.
Disagree. Like Aunt Jemima versus like bougie maple syrup is a very different flavor.
I mean, it is better, the real stuff, but it's not like
it's interesting.
5 times the price better.
Well, it's like when I went to college, they never had real maple syrup. And I think it's just so sticky, I think is my problem with the fake stuff. It like strings, you like pull apart your hands and it like real maple syrup.
Do you pour maple syrup into your
how
hands?
often?
No.
What do you guys do with maple syrup in Vermont?
We're really creative with it. No.
We had a whole gag with my old roommate from Vermont. His name's Zach. He actually was on the podcast, and he plays guitar in my band. And we did a whole gag on social media about him being from Vermont and how he would like pour maple syrup all over his body. And I'm like, wow, that tracks.
Yeah, I feel like everyone has had a bodily encounter with maple syrup if you're from Vermont.
It's just everywhere.
There's no better way to put it. Yeah.
Now the name of the episode is Bodily Encounter with Maple Syrup.
So can you go tap a tree? Can you just go out into your backyard and be like, let me get some syrup and just...
That's an interesting question.
I don't know how maple syrup
because my
works.
neighbors did do that, but it's like
Really?
Yeah, so they would tap. They're the little spouts that you tap into the tree, and then they would put empty water jugs on there, and so the sap goes in there, and then you have to boil down the sap, and then
refine it a bit.
Product without the extra water in it is maple syrup.
And that's all maple syrup is, right? It's just
boiled down sap.
From a maple tree, I assume.
Do they add sugar to it, or is it
Not that I know of.
It's
No,
naturally
I looked
sweet?
at the ingredients this morning. It just said maple syrup. That's it.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible. Tapping a
Pretty
tree.
wild. I know.
Can we get syrups from other trees?
Me and my sound
So
effects.
funny.
Can we get pine syrup?
I'm sure you could. I just don't think it probably wouldn't taste very
We should
good.
start
Yeah.
tapping some trees.
Have you ever made pine needle tea? Trees that can be tapped. Sugar, black,
Sugar tree? I
red
thought
and
sugar
silver
grew on a
maple.
Oh, those are all maple.
and box elder.
Oh, those are all maple. Like sugar maple, black. Those are all maple.
Oh, because elder syrup. Okay. Sure,
elder
that makes
syrup.
Since you
I've
just
heard
bought a
that.
house, you should put a maple tree in your backyard with a permanent tap.
We have several trees.
Buy a maple.
Let's stick some taps in them. See what kind of trees they are. See
Yeah. I had a summer job one. I mean, it was only for a couple days where I pulled the taps out of the trees, and I made a couple $100.
Nice.
That's what you do in Vermont.
Did you ever do that thing? Sorry, I just can't let go of this maple syrup.
My
thing.
God.
Yeah.
So I've heard
This
they
is going
do
to be a
this
great episode.
in
Everybody,
Canada.
skip ahead. 15 second. Just, whenever jury talks,
I
just
love
skip
this,
ahead 15 seconds.
I love the other stuff. But so I've heard in Canada, and I wonder if it's the same in Vermont because it gets cold and you got
Sure.
maple syrup. It's a big deal.
And she
Yeah.
lived very
Where
close
you-
to Canada.
Yeah, where you take the maple syrup and you put it in the snow with a popsicle stick, and
Yeah.
you make I forget what they call it.
Sugar on snow is what
That's
I
what it's called?
called it.
That's not what
yeah.
they call it in Canada.
Oh, it's
but
different?
I
Okay.
don't remember what they call it
Oh,
in
it's
Canada.
probably called
but-
like a loosey-goosey doosey.
Probably. That sounds right. That's accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds kind of gross. I'm not gonna lie. Snow's not clean.
No. I'm trying to think of the times I've had it. I think they somehow purified the snow, but I don't know how they would have done that.
Yeah, because a couple years back when it snowed here, I went and grabbed a bunch of snow and I made cocktails out of it. We had these snow
Oh.
cocktails, and then the next day I looked up online hey, was that fine? And it was that's not fine.
Maybe not.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people eat snow in different ways and reasons and cultures.
Oh, well,
I think.
think of all the kids who just When I was a kid, I can think of several times I ate snow.
But where you grew up is also like, I'll bet the snow's a lot cleaner.
Maybe cleaner.
Probably.
Than the city.
Maybe Nashville snow is probably not.
Yeah, well, we get like one a year, and I bet
Yeah.
the first snow is probably the dirtiest.
Yeah,
you know,
probably.
my guess. I mean, I'm not a snowologist, but
Yeah.
Scientists have found that the new snow can contain weird stuff, including
what's
pesticides,
the new snow?
soot, and even nasties, such as
Formaldehyde?
Why is Google saying nasties? Mercury and formaldehyde. Wow, you might be dying
Yikes.
from both of you from your snow eating addiction.
Slowly and surely.
Slowly.
Man, no, I don't know. Something about Vermont interests me because when you ever see pictures, it's just like, oh my God, like that's incredible.
Yeah.
But then I look at it on like a map and I'm like, but it's so far away. It's
From
small.
everything. We were just talking about that earlier, where it's like you don't go there unless you're going to Vermont. Like I don't think you just don't go through it. You don't.
Right, you got to go out of your way to
It's
get
so
there.
out of the way.
Yeah, unless you're like, I want to go to Bangor, Maine.
Yeah.
And you don't.
No.
No.
Now, how do you feel like Vermont has impacted your artistry? Oh, look at me
I'm
turning
trying to
towards
bring it back to
music.
music.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing?
For the
Oh,
first
yeah.
time. Yeah, how does that impact your artistry? Because, I mean, you're talking about being able to be like, people stay away, you're out in the middle of nowhere. Like, I feel like a lot of times isolation leads to better music. Like, Bon Iver went off to a cabin.
Right.
Was it in Vermont?
No, I think it was somewhere else.
No, it was probably in Wisconsin where he's from.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, there's a lot of people make art by, like, retreating.
South Texas.
South
Wesley
Texas
says.
was Bon Iver for the first album. Google that.
He said no, not first album.
A newer album. Whatever.
Interesting.
We need to get Wesley a mic again.
Yeah. So you're, yeah. So I mean, how do you feel like that's impacted your art? And do you feel like things have shifted since you moved to
Oh, interesting.
the big city?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely. I think it's a place that just cultivates art in the way that like you're surrounded by very beautiful nature sort of all the time, and you know, the arts at my schools were always pretty like well supported and funded and stuff, so that obviously helped. And yeah, I think that because it was so isolated, there wasn't really. I spent a lot of my evenings in my house because I couldn't really go anywhere. So I did a lot of writing. And especially during COVID when it was like I got sent home from college, so I was in Vermont, and that was really isolating. So I think that had a big impact on my songwriting. And I think moving here, it's shifted a little bit in terms of now I'm in an artist community, so there's a lot of, you know, me checking out other people's stuff, and that has influence over me, obviously. And I think knowing that people listen to my music has an influence over it, even when I don't want it to. Yeah.
Yeah. Does that make it challenging? Like, so like, so I did an artist thing a few years ago, like starting in COVID as well.
Yeah.
And put out some songs, and like one of them I got a bunch of plays on through like playlists and crap like that. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't think anybody would listen to it.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I mean, the next song I was thinking about like
Right.
comments people had made about like, this song's so cheery, and I'm like, maybe I need to make one that's sad, you know, and stuff like that. Like you're just like, you try not to listen, but it does affect you. Like how have you experienced that?
I mean, I think now it's a very conscious sort of thought process of like, who's going to relate to this, or like, is this a relatable feeling that I'm writing about? And certainly, like, in terms of production, you're always like, is this a choice that people are going to hate and sort of, like, throw hate comments at me about, or what? But certainly when I'm, like, writing, I think it's a lot of, like, is this going to appeal to people, or is it too specific to, like, my own life? And usually it's stuff that, like, happens to everyone, and I don't have to worry about it, but...
Yeah. So when you post stuff online, right? You post your music, you share things, you promote things, I assume.
Yes.
All of that.
All the time.
Do you read the comments?
Yeah.
Are you a comment reader?
I am a comment reader, for better or for worse.
Okay. Because I feel like the younger people are and the older people are from us, like are like comment people. But I feel like our generation, who like grew up with the birth of the internet, essentially, Like, I remember when there was no internet. You know what I mean? Like, at least no, like, common internet.
I said that to my Uber driver today. And that's when she was like, listen to the wisdom of Gen Z.
Yeah. But also, but like, it came out when I was like 5. You know, like, I grew up while the internet was growing up.
But like,
I feel
nobody had it till we were like 8 or 10.
Sure. Yeah. Just at school, you had Netscape Navigator. Whoo! You don't like, you know what Netscape Navigator is.
I would love for us to go. There must be
it's
this.
the Internet Explorer before Internet Explorer.
Wow.
This must exist, like a place you can go and experience what those modem speeds found, like an emulator.
Miserable, yeah. Dial up.
Oh yeah.
But
I did have dial up.
oh, did you?
I did. I
I
can
don't
always
know
say
how a lot
that.
in Vermont.
I'm sure
No, I'd have to plug into the wall. Go beep beep boop boop. Yeah.
That had to have been because Vermont probably took longer to get the infrastructure because of
it's like
how
90%
far out
trees.
it is. Yeah,
For sure. It
they
was,
had to
yes.
like run those cables through the trees.
Oh, yeah.
But I just feel like no other generation, because they didn't have that same experience as us, learned that like the internet's bullshit. I feel like we have a much better like desensitization and also like just not give a fuck about what happens online than people who are older or younger than us.
Oh, for sure. I wish all the time. Well, because it feels so... and something I've had to work on is like this feels like everything, and then you just have to put your phone down and like go for a walk.
Right. Just get away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, if I'm on the internet and I'm not posting promoting music.
Yeah.
But anything I post, you know, if it gets comments, negative comments, so they could be like, "Kill yourself," and I'm just like, you
so
too, man.
far.
Like, like I'm just so desensitized at this point. Like, you know, but it does affect a lot of. It is a big problem right now.
Yeah.
Because the anonymity. I don't know. I feel like it's getting. Maybe it's getting more aggressive. I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining that.
I have no idea.
Maybe I'm
People
just getting
certainly
old.
feel way more comfortable when they have that level of like anonymity, and they'll say anything to you. So you know.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
That is
Have you experienced comments that sucked or hurt your feelings or just kind of?
Yeah. My song "Little Life" is about a comment that I got.
Oh wow.
Where this guy, it was on a YouTube short, which I thought was really funny because I was like, out of all the places you're gonna like harass me, it's gonna be on a YouTube short.
No one uses this. What are you doing here, sir?
I know. I was like, take that energy and put it like at least on a different app, like not here.
At least he talks about TikTok.
Take
TikTok
this
where it belongs.
fucked up vibe to TikTok.
And I had been promoting a song called "Keeping Score," and it was just a video of me like the dumb, like I'm in my car, like, hey guys, check this out. Yeah. And he was like, you are a worthless songwriter. You will never be able to accomplish like paragraphs. And then somebody tried to defend me and he got even worse.
Right. That never helps.
It was just a spiral.
Oh, no.
So that one was probably, I had read it at night after I'd had like a few drinks and I just was not, it was bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And what was the song you wrote out of that called?
Little Life.
Little Life.
So I got a song out of it, at least, you know.
Nice.
But
It's so rough. I mean, it's so rough. I don't know why. I also don't have the experience of like having like a super bad comment and I'm like, is that because I don't put myself out or is it because I don't read the comments or because I don't
It's probably because when you do read them, you just glaze over it because you learned your whole life how the internet is.
You're just like that.
That's my theory, at least.
But isn't that like, wouldn't have Gen Z also like grown up in that ecosystem?
No, but they didn't grow up with the internet. They grew up with the internet already being massive.
yeah.
So like maybe there's more like this is really important from the beginning and less like not like we all were taught very early. The internet taught itself, don't feed the trolls. Like ignore those people.
Oh, interesting.
Those people are
like there used to be a list that was the rules of the internet. It was like 100
Really?
things, and most of them were just jokes, but like
Right.
it was a very real thing. And that literally, I think that was rule number 1 was don't feed the trolls.
It's
Wow.
like if anybody's doing that, they're just like it's their own weird.
Of course, the most famous rule is Rule 34. If it exists, there is porn of it.
Oh, yeah. Always. Yeah. Find anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just feel like it's different. I don't know how we got on the internet train, but
Me either. But
who knows?
No, it certainly is so integrated in like I know my life and in this career, it's like sort of how I got here and then also how I can keep going. And then I know all of my friends, we talk about the internet just feeling like it's an extension of ourselves sometimes, which I don't think is healthy. But
I couldn't even imagine what life is like now. Even though like I had a time when I had a map
You're
in my
life
car.
now,
right.
Like I couldn't even imagine not having the internet at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would survive. I don't know what I would do all day.
I would do.
I'd be so bored.
I took a weekend vacation one time where I didn't have a phone, and I just drove according to like I looked up the directions in advance, and then I just did
like
things.
Psycho.
I went and I got a hotel by walking in and talking to a person.
Whoa.
Were they confused? There's like no one has done this in 20 years.
They're like, "Are you Priceline? Is
I want
this?"
to stay here.
Like, can I give you money and then you let me go
You
there
let me
into a room?
sleep?
I don't know. Yeah. But no, I mean, it was nice. This we just went on a vacation together, and because we're
Sounds
family.
weird when you say it like that.
Yeah,
but
it does.
Your family.
Yeah, we're family. And so we all did a vacation, and for the 2-week vacation, I deleted social media off my phone. And didn't, and we went. I mean, it was beautiful. Like we went on a beautiful vacation. So many great
Went to Montana.
pictures. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
And so it was awesome, but we didn't post anything about it the whole time.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was so healthy.
Yeah.
It really helped me to be like, to not be thinking about what others were thinking about my vacation and whether they thought it was cool or not. Loved it.
That's so interesting.
Highly recommend.
But your career in music right now is I mean, and everybody's.
Yeah.
But is so tied to the internet. But from what I understand, a lot of popularity came from TikTok during during COVID. Right? Mm-hmm. So even more so tied to this very specific part of the internet, which I would argue is the worst part of the internet.
It's not
He's
high
old,
up
ignore
on the
him.
list. I know, I would agree with you. Not my favorite. Yeah.
I guess I don't really know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I have like a feeling.
we can tell. I can feel that. Yeah.
know.
Follow the feeling.
And I like want to. I don't know. I want to ask almost like how does that feel? That it's almost like you have to. Now.
Yeah.
Before you could. Now you must.
That's so funny. Yeah, I think about it a lot because it's like, oh, this started as something that, songwriting was something I just did for me, and now it's for me and then also for like so many people, which is awesome. But then it's like, oh, and I have to also post these videos to feed this weird algorithm that doesn't necessarily show my videos to
and
people.
And if you stop for even a short period of time, like the algorithm screws you.
Yeah.
Like, and then you disappear forever.
Yeah.
It's like now that's like an obligation.
Yeah.
And it's not just in music, in so many industries, so many things, right? But I don't know. It's just wild.
It is a weird balance to be like, wow, I'm so grateful to the people who listen to me. And also I hate that there's this app that I have to feed to appease the, social media beast or whatever. So
yeah, it's wild. Bo Burnham has do you know Bo Burnham?
Yeah.
He's great.
I love him.
He has a song about that.
Yeah.
Actually, Kanye rant. If anybody's interested, you should look it up because it's great. I love me some Bo. But
is it the All Eyes on Me song?
No, that was the end of Inside. This is the Kanye rant. It was years before COVID.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, it's not about Kanye. It's the Pringles can one. No? All right.
I think I know.
Yeah, it was great. Just listened to the other day. But, okay, but outside of that, so you've been in town for about a year.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love that you're just like, no resolution. Just like, yep, guess you're stuck feeding a beast. Anyway,
well, I don't have a solution for you. It just is the natural way of the world now. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Solution.
There is no solution.
Moving on, you're a slave. Moving on. The weather.
I mean, so is everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there is maybe I feel like there's a positive side of it too.
Oh yeah, the internet's awesome. It does so much.
For sure. And like 10 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to just like post some videos and then like start to create a career out of that.
10 years ago? I think you're showing your age. It's more like 20 at this point.
No, like 10. I mean, you could maybe on YouTube, but like not really music. Like how many music artists? Well, just some people got discovered on YouTube.
And some musicians got discovered on MySpace.
Right. Well, like it's like, okay, you could get discovered, but TikTok has definitely like accelerated the discovery process where people can get discovered and sort of like move to a record deal like at lightning pace.
Like weeks or like days. Right. It's crazy. Yeah, well, that's what's so hard about it is it's like such an incredible way to like build a community also, in terms of like finding people who like relate to your music and who you relate to and stuff. But then it's like also there's so much just negativity about it that it's hard to balance.
Yeah. So do you feel like a connection to like your online community?
Oh, totally. It's like
You don't just have to say that because they're listening.
No. I mean, I think about it all the time. Like, I wouldn't be doing this unless I was going to be a speech and language pathologist. So, like, unless somebody had found, you know, my video online, I would be not here doing that. So, yeah, it's like the other musicians I've found on there, making connections with them, building an audience. Yeah. Many positives from that app, along with the negatives.
Yeah, it's wild times. Before we like go deeper, I feel like it's about time to play a song.
Yeah, people got to know what you sound like.
Yes.
So, what's the first song you'll be playing for us?
This song is called Spam Calls.
It sucks to see you doing okay. I wanted to be the one to move on and rub it in your face. And our 10-year reunion is still 7 years away. I know it's immature to hope that your happiness is a phase. And I always knew that it all boiled down to I'm not enough for you. I am coded blame. At the end of it all, I'm still answering spam calls, just in case it's your voice saying my name. Your voice saying my name. It sucks to hear you've worked on yourself. I think back to a time when I knew you, and it's like you were somebody else. You were my artificial high, but I thought you were my finish line. You went up, now I'm just looking for a way out. And I always knew that it all boiled down to I'm not enough for you. I am coded blame. At the end of it all, I'm still answering spam calls, just in case it's your voice saying my name. Your voice saying my name. When I see you walk into our old school again, I hope you walking alone. And I hope that I won't. And when you cross the room and ask if I miss you, hope I say that I don't. That's unlikely, I know. I've had bad luck letting you go. At the end of it all, I'm still answering spam calls, just in case it's your voice saying hello. That's unlikely, I know. That's unlikely, I know.
And we're back.
Wow, that was an abrupt and we're back.
Hey, you know, you got to do it somehow.
Okay, so what can
that was spam calls.
Yeah, what can you tell us? Which, by the way, this maybe this episode will be called Spam Calls, because in the very beginning that was like a spam call.
Yeah,
right. That interrupted
us. So true.
God's plan. So
said you get a spam call right now.
So yeah, tell us about spam calls. Where did that come from? Spam calls.
I got the idea to from spam calls. I got the idea to write a song that was like, you're so hung up on somebody you answer spam calls just in case it might be them. And,
oh wow.
I've never had that experience. Not to brag or anything, but yeah, I thought it was fun, and I'd never heard anyone do it before, and
Yeah.
I love a gimmicky sort of sad song.
Why not?
Yeah.
Not to brag, but I've never intentionally answered a spam call thinking my ex might be working at that company.
Yeah.
To be
Not to
fair,
brag.
I don't answer my phone, so
Yeah, I don't either.
No, you guys like both hate people. This is
yeah, it's
A
kind of
little
nice.
bit.
Yeah, I mean, like, but I also love people,
Exactly.
but like they are the worst.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes
very
you just
toxic
reach a
relationship.
cutoff. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that cutoff is getting lower and lower and lower every year. But no, actually, I've been getting a ridiculous amount of spam calls lately, which is
They're everywhere.
It's just it's gotten to the point now where I do not expect if my phone rings for it to be anybody that I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, exactly.
But like once upon a time, that's all the phone was for.
I know.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Back-
then my mom always gets mad at me because I get scared to like call businesses and ask their hours and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I just have this like fear of
Yeah,
calling, and
tons of people do.
she doesn't have that because she grew up with the phone. So
Yeah, it's like I don't fear it because I grew up with it,
yeah,
but I do hate it because I've
Yeah.
learned that I don't need to.
no, yeah, exactly. And why would you?
Like,
yeah,
especially if you're calling like a restaurant or something.
yeah,
It's like, first of all, they're not going to answer.
yeah.
If they do answer, it's going to be so loud, and they're going to be frustrated and busy, and they
Okay.
don't want to talk
Mad.
to me. They're
I-
mad.
I definitely call restaurants. They may or may not be mad. It will be loud.
Yeah.
They don't want to answer, but I will call a restaurant to find out if the wait's long.
Oh, yeah, I've done that.
It's the only way
But
you
I do
can
that on
find out.
trips, really. I do that on trips, but I don't do that like at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like sometimes Google hours say weird things that you're like, it can't be like closed at 4 p.m. This doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. Like, let me call them and see.
Right.
Yeah. That reminded me of a story that is not interesting to share on the podcast. I won't share it so Wesley doesn't
God.
correct me on the screen. Okay, so moving on. So have you felt like, do you feel like your writing changes in Nashville? Like, or not, but just like the culture here, songwriting wise, like it's such a songwriters community. People love to co-write and get together
Yeah.
and write, not out alone in the woods.
Right.
And like pitch ideas. Like I think the worst is like country music, where people are like, let's write a song about a neon sign
Yeah.
today because somebody else had a famous neon sign song.
Yeah.
What do you think about with neon? Pink,
Right.
blue, red? Red, blue,
What could
red
the
neon sign. I've never
say?
heard that. Yeah.
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 Oh, I think the co-writing has been a huge learning curve, just in terms of like I've only before, starting this career, I only wrote by myself. And so it's been really fun because it's a different side of like
Yeah.
the songwriting process where you're having to sort of rely on other people also. So, and it's just creative in a different way in
Yeah.
terms of like putting, whoa, crazy, like 2 or 3 minds together instead of just one. So I like to do a mixture of both because I think that just works the muscle in a couple different ways.
So do songs that are like co-written that you do write with other people,
Yeah.
do they feel different?
They do feel different to me, but it's because there's, in my mind, it's like, well, it's not just my influence over the song. There's
Right.
other people there. And I wouldn't make the same decisions that I would make by myself, obviously, because I have no one saying, but what about this? Or like, I actually really
Right.
don't like that idea.
And you're like, but that's my soul.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It is scary sometimes.
Have you mostly done co-writing like for you as the artist, or have you done any co-writing that's like this could be for anyone?
Yeah, it's a mixture. I think the majority has been sort of, for me, I think I'm moving sort of away from that because I just find that a lot of the stuff I write by myself ends up feeling more like I'm telling the truth or like the full
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah.
Because I just think I tend to hide that a little bit when I'm writing with other people. But yeah, definitely like just writing with other people is a fun thing also that
Just a
I
fun
enjoy
fun
doing.
activity to do,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
That's
like
fair.
doesn't always have to be for anything really.
Yeah.
I have like there's one guy that I like to write with, our Roger Yeager, friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
who I feel like when Roger and I write together, it's so far recently we've mostly written for me. And in that context, and just because he's like a really safe person, I feel like he's like a songwriting therapist. He does more. Sometimes he has lyric suggestions because he's a great lyricist on his own.
Yeah.
But like I feel like he draws it out of me.
Yeah.
And so even though several of my songs like have Roger as a co-writer, I feel fully like I own those words.
More like he's a songwriting coach.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like he's more coaching it out of me versus
It's gonna be
there's
some new career now.
Somebody else I wrote a song with where like I feel like we're both more of like artists. I mean, Roger's an artist, don't get me wrong, but like it was like we wrote it together, and it kind of feels like part me, part him, and I really love it, but like it it was a different thing. I feel like it matters a lot who you write with, like how you interpret that. Do you have like any favorite writers around town that you like that you're like, oh, these are like my people, or like I come back to, or are you still kind of discovering that? Or
I mean, it's definitely a process. When you were talking about that, I was thinking my friend Bridie Costello, who is also an artist, but she's just like an excellent songwriter, and we wrote a song together that I'm working on an album, so it's going to be on the album.
nice.
And sometimes you just, I think for the most part, it's like people I'm friends with, I feel obviously more comfortable like opening up to.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you just find people where you're like, oh, this feels like, my song because, you were here, but you're sort of, I trust you so much that you're having this effect where I'm opening up more somehow. So anyway.
Yeah,
I love her.
I do wonder, like, so a lot of people are songwriters. That is the main thing that they do. They're not trying to be a musician of themselves.
Right.
They are songwriters. And so them, if they go write songs, it's going to be for other people. And those songs could blow up. And that's awesome for them.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I was trying to be a big musician
Yeah.
and I wrote a song with somebody for somebody else, and then their song blew up and that song blew I feel like that would hurt. That would burn. And you're like I'm over here just like struggling, but this other song I wrote with some other artist.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like that fear of that. I'd be like, I don't want to write songs with other people.
Oh, that's so interesting. I think I would feel more like just excited.
Right. So you're just a good person. I get it. That's fine. I'd be like, fuck them.
But totally, like, I think everyone has a little bit of like, oh, I really, even if it's someone you like love, watching that sort of take off, and you're like, when is it my turn?
Yeah, some mix of like a little jealousy, a little jadedness, a little something.
Oh, everybody
hard to
has
get past.
that.
Yeah, everyone's got that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because we're all the worst.
Music industry. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think if a song, depending on how big a song blows up, like it might actually be really good for you.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's some people like I think it's Dave Barnes wrote God Gave Me You, and he released his own version of that song, and then Blake Shelton did the song.
Yeah.
And then it like blew up. It was like a massive hit. But like Dave Barnes gets a come up too from that. Like not only does he get money, but also now more people know who he is, and he gets a lot of extra clout, more opportunities. So it's good for him too. And then the other day, my fiance was telling me, oh, that feels so awkward to say. I wanted to like do it casually. We just got engaged recently.
Oh, congrats.
In Montana.
Cheers me. Wait.
Yeah.
I'm engaged.
Gave yourself applause.
Yeah, because you're too damn lazy. You had that opportunity.
Does this
You're
just keep going
bad
forever?
brother-in-law.
It's long.
No, I was gonna try to like casually, like I'm used to this. Like, my fiance was saying to me the other day, and keep going, but I couldn't do it. Anyway, she was telling me some other major song that we all know that Dave Barnes wrote. I forget what it was, but I was like, I had no idea. So seems like Dave Barnes has been in your predicament. We'll have to have him on and be like, did you like that?
Did you enjoy?
In my made-up predicament.
Yeah,
it's not real.
Because Jury says it would be hard. He
I
thinks
feel like
it would
that'd be hard. I feel like I'd be bitter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Huh. It's interesting. Well, because like sometimes also I write songs and I'm like, this doesn't feel like it's for me. And so like it can be for somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think if it But I just don't know when there would be a circumstance where I'd be like, this song is mine and somebody else took it and like now I'm,
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's a little far-fetched. But
I don't think it's, I think it depends on.
is this
Dave
Dave Barnes?
His
Oh,
whole
well.
catalog.
Oh, wow.
You by Dan Shay, Like a Lady by Lady A, Kingdom by Carrie Underwood. These are big songs. I don't know them because I don't listen to much country.
Okay, but he's done this a lot of times, it looks like.
You and Me by Ben Rector, All I Need. None of those ones, but thanks for bringing up that extensive list of Dave Barnes' massive hit songs he's written.
Yeah.
I'll bet he's not that mad
I bet
about
he's not
being
bitter at all.
this successful.
I bet he's
No.
like,
I
this
think
is
he's
awesome.
doing fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Dave. Didn't mean to call you out. No.
Yeah.
Now, have you been playing around town a lot?
Yeah, maybe once a month or so. I don't know. I don't know what a lot is. I feel like people's
Sure,
version
yeah.
of a lot is like way more than what I think it is.
And also probably different than what it was a few years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, it's tough because you don't want to like oversaturate the city where
Yes.
nobody will come to your show.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be careful about headlines, especially.
Do you have a favorite venue in town?
That's a good question. The Ryman's a classic, but
Like that you've played.
that
Or have you played the Ryman?
have not played the Ryman.
I was like, am I standing
My
in front
bad.
of royalty?
Unfortunately not. I love the East Room. That's a classic. Exit-In was fun. They just like redid the whole thing, and obviously that's
Right.
a very
It got destroyed
famous.
in the tornado, right? Was
It
that-
got vandalized, I think, actually.
Oh, okay.
Or something. I don't know exactly what happened. Anyway, it's all like brand new in there, and it's really nice. And
Oh yeah, Exit In, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay, I went there recently. A new owner bought it.
yeah.
And what's interesting is it used to have written on the walls in white letters every artist who had ever played there. Were you here when it still had that?
No, I played in April right after they redid it. So that was gone.
Okay, so I'm really curious because so I went and saw Michigander there when he played and all the names were gone. But I'd been there before.
Yeah.
There's names everywhere, Goo Goo Dolls, like all these like major artists that had come through there over the years.
Yeah.
And now it was sold last year. And there was a big stink about it online. Like everybody was like, no, we're losing a famous venue. And actually, like, people were trying to fundraise and save
Yeah.
the venue. It ended up getting sold. And everyone was like, we're losing this very important part of Nashville history. And but then Michigander was on our show and he was like, oh, I'm doing a show at Exit-In. And we all were like, wait, isn't that closing
Right.
down?
Yeah.
And he's like, nope, I have a show there. And so what we found out was new ownership bought it and kept it a venue. And so
It's a good move. Smart move.
the original owners of the venue that ended up having to sell, they made kind of a campaign online, from what I
Yeah.
understand. I don't know, maybe if you're listening, new owners of Exit-In or old owners of
Yeah.
Exit-In, and this isn't true.
Yeah.
Either one.
All I know is I think I'll just say everybody thought it was going away, but it just came right back under new ownership. And so I don't know what the story is, but I noticed all those names are gone. And this was my own half-baked theory. I wondered if the old owners were like, no, new people, those people didn't play at your venue. They played at our venue, and then they like blacked it all out and was like, get your own new names.
Yeah.
That was
Now,
like,
granted, you're just making that
I
up right
made
now.
that up.
Just like
But that was the only justification I
Right.
had for like, why would you erase
would
that
you?
history that everybody, like that's part of the charm of the venue. Like, why would you keep the venue the exact same and then just take away the like coolest thing about it?
Right.
So I feel like that's like old owners spiting new owners.
well, it's canon now, so
Yeah. But you said vandalism. Did you hear like
Oh, I
some
heard,
kids go in there and
Well, I don't, and that's the whole thing is I feel like everyone's like, we don't really know. I feel like there's probably an answer
yeah.
that I don't want to, but I don't want to assume.
yeah, fair enough.
That like the sound system was smashed and like
Oh wow.
lighting and like trash wiring cut, that sort of thing.
Man,
Yeah, that's
Well,
what I heard.
My theory is sorry old owners, but I think you did that to be bastards to
That
the new
is
people.
what I also think, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. But maybe you didn't. You know what? Feel free to come on our show and defend yourself. Or to just talk about how, yeah, you did that because fuck the new guys, like, I guess. But anyway.
either way, we want to
Yeah.
hear about it.
I will say
Excellent.
I had a good experience with the new people, so
I mean,
That's
it's
good,
It
you
seems
know?
it seems nice.
it is really nice.
Yeah.
You mentioned you're working on getting an album out right now.
Yes. Yeah.
Is there a timeline on that?
Well, I'm actually going to record in LA the next just a week this month and a week next month. So it's in the process
get those
of
vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, why LA?
Okay, well, my producer Juan Ariza, who I love, he's out there.
What's his name?
Juan Ariza. His artist name is Ariza. But
sweet.
yeah, I wish he was here so I didn't have to fly out to LA, but that's not a dig at Juan. He's great. But
Juan's great, not LA.
we love
Planes go
Juan.
both ways.
LA is, it's LA.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but it is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'll take any excuse to shit on LA. I hate LA. I think it's the worst place.
And that's so valid. Yeah.
You'd be a great therapist.
Culture's not my favorite.
Yeah, it's just aggressive and rude and
Yeah.
dirty. Everything is
Yeah.
so dirty in LA.
Yeah.
And I mean, we grew up in San Diego, which is nothing like LA
Yeah.
at all. It's completely separate. Completely
bit
different. How is it like LA?
It's like
Besides
way more like
besides
LA than
geographically.
Nashville's like LA.
Right.
Anyway.
No, I don't know. I would say Nashville's more like LA than San Diego.
Visually and weather.
Oh, yeah, but I'm talking culture and people.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, different. Anyways, we don't got to go down that road.
Yeah.
But, because, I'll talk about that forever if you
He'll
do.
burn LA to the ground.
I would be okay if LA burned to the ground. I mean, not all the people. I mean, some of the people are fine.
Hey, they've got that earthquake coming, so.
You're missing the health? Heath? Health?
Yeah, I'm reading Heath culture, Wesley.
Missing the Heath.
No one knows what you're trying to say. Heath culture.
The
for
old
sure.
Heath culture. But
Health culture.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it's
there
pretty
it is.
crazy out there.
it is pretty wild.
Yeah.
But I found, now is Vermont a health conscious place? Because it's a little more crunchy out there, right?
Yeah, it is, and my mom was my health teacher in middle school, so she's very proud
wow.
of this fact, but it's the second healthiest state, I believe, as of right now.
Right behind Tennessee.
Right behind Tennessee. Yeah, I think Hawaii had us beat.
Oh, okay. That tracks.
Wow.
But it's very everybody's a runner, everybody's a biker, everybody's like a,
Right.
outdoorsy
Bruh, people are out
trail
here
runner.
stabbing things into trees to get its juices. It's another level.
That's
Yeah.
sweet tree juice.
Whereas
Wow.
LA, I feel like is
Number
more diet.
one.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, number one.
No
Look at that.
way.
Go, Vermont. California's
we've
not
done
even
it.
in that top 10.
Yeah.
Nor is Tennessee. I'll bet Tennessee's way
like
down
bottom
there.
10.
I think, yeah.
Right above
definitely
Alabama.
We're known for our fried chicken.
Bottom percentile. Right.
It is wild. It was weird because I mean San Diego is not super crazy with that, but is prevalent.
Yeah.
This is California, right?
Right.
So I remember when I moved here and I started a job. My first job here was at Belmont,
Yeah.
and there were people who would drink a Pepsi every morning instead of coffee.
Right.
And that was, I just remember seeing that and be like, if I did that in San Diego, I would get ridiculed. Are you kidding me? They're like, what are you, a child?
Yeah.
But nobody said, I remember just watching it and being like, nobody's going to make a comment about this? He's just drinking a Pepsi at 7:30 in the morning. What is happening?
Yeah.
But it's so normal here.
Yeah, I feel like everywhere.
I'm not a healthy guy, but I'm not drinking Pepsi at 7:30 in the morning either. You know what I mean? That's not.
So fascinating.
There's a spectrum.
That's crossing the line.
Right. Yeah.
Did you do any sports or health? If your mom's the health teacher,
Oh yeah. I
what'd you
played
do?
basketball for 11 years
Oh, wow.
until I was a junior in
Wow.
high school, and then I played volleyball and field hockey. That was my area.
Here's one of the dumber questions you'll hear today. What is field hockey? I've heard
What?
of it.
Really?
I've heard of it.
No,
I've
this is
not.
so
I don't think I've
interesting.
done
It's
it.
a whole ass sport, Ryan.
Yeah. What
Well,
is
it
that one?
interesting
What's that
because
one?
in the U.S. anyway, I think it's mostly just a women's sport. I know that in Europe, it's both or not. Everybody plays field hockey.
Yeah. You're so Gen Z. Go on.
But
Oh. Okay.
yes.
Wesley has some pictures
So
up.
it's you
Yeah.
have a stick with a curve at the end, and then there's a ball, and you.
I mean,
Okay, it's hockey, but you run.
It's street hockey.
It's
That's
hockey
what you
without
called it.
No.
ice.
It's street hockey without skates.
Yeah.
Right? They're just running. You're
Right,
not
yeah, on
skating.
feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
On your own feet.
Okay, I played roller hockey because there are precious few like ice skating rinks in San Diego.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so why field? But now you had natural ice coming from the earth.
Yeah.
So why field hockey versus like ice hockey, roller hockey?
My mom played field hockey in high school and college.
But I assume it's more of a summer sport.
Yeah, it's a summer like fall. It's like a fall sport.
You guys are like, dang it,
probably
we
play
can't.
ice hockey in the winter.
It's winter now. We can't do hockey anymore. Just kidding.
Yeah, I know. You know, it doesn't make a ton of sense when you think about it, but it happened.
Hey, hockey all year round, you know?
Yeah. Dirt hockey is sort of what it is.
Classic dirt hockey.
Classic dirt hockey.
I would play field hockey. Maybe we'll play field hockey for my birthday.
It's fun.
Yeah. Maybe
It's
we'll
not
play field
easy.
hockey.
Don't make me play a sport for your birthday.
We're going to do a sports birthday. I'm not a sports guy at all. I do
Yeah.
music, but sports birthday.
It's gross.
We're going to go to a game, a sports game.
No, we're not.
There's
no
One of
shot.
the best. No, we're going to go to the best sports game around at the Ultimate Stadium.
We are not.
Heck yeah.
not
I wouldn't
sports
know.
people.
Yeah. I'm just shocked that the ice hockey team is the Predators. That feels wild to me that you would name a team the Predators. I don't know.
Oh, wait, why?
I don't know. I don't know. It just feels strange.
Yeah, it is
What
kind of
should a hockey team be named?
well, like
That's a
most
great
teams are named
question.
after like a thing,
Yeah.
like the Tigers, right? That's probably a
Predators feels
thing.
vague.
Vague. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what kind of predators? Are we talking ocean predators?
They're just trying to like
Land
supersede everybody by picking the whole class.
Yeah.
It's like,
no,
Well, all
I've
of
never
them.
been to a Predators game.
Me neither.
I kind of want to go because like I want
should.
to like sneak in a catfish. And that's like the thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
Interesting. I have not heard about
Yeah, so
that.
I guess I'm not a sports guy. So if you are and you're listening to this and everything I say is wrong, I don't care. But I guess when the team is winning or losing, one of the two, you throw catfish onto the ice.
Oh.
It's like a thing, and it became such a problem they've banned catfish. From the stadium, whatever. Bridgestone. Bridgestone's the big one, right?
I think it is
Yeah.
Bridgestone.
Or the little one, big, whatever one it is.
yes,
Big. So people still find ways to like sneak in catfish, and I'm like, okay, I want to do that. I want
Yeah,
to sneak
that
in
sounds
catfish
fun.
and throw it onto the ice.
Right. There's got to be some other level of like entertainment going on for me to be.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I assume watching.
Throwing catfish.
I did go to one hockey game when I was young. San Diego Gulls.
Yeah,
Like a
same.
minor
Hockey
league
game.
team. Yeah. And I remember it was fun because they just like beat the shit out of each other for a couple hours.
Yeah, right.
yep. Everybody look forward to the fights.
Yeah.
Right. That's the best part of hockey.
Crowd pleasing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think I could get into it here.
Yeah.
I could watch some
Yeah.
grown men kick the shit out of each other while we throw fish at them. Like that
Why
sounds like a
not?
nice time.
Yeah.
You know, really, it's prime
Yeah,
entertainment.
exactly.
Okay, so I'm curious. So you're, so the origin story I know of you is like only based on this one podcast, and
Sure.
but from what I understand, like COVID-19,
Yeah.
TikTok. Okay,
Yeah.
take me before that, like because nobody just like was like,
Right.
there's TikTok. I guess what's this in my
Yeah.
hands?
Oh
like
my God.
I can sing.
A C chord. Yeah.
Like yeah. So like, how'd you get into music in the first place? What role has it played in your life? How did you get to the COVID-19 pandemic ready to take TikTok by storm?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like how'd you get
The
there?
whole journey.
Yeah.
Well,
Just the good parts.
just the good parts.
Yeah, the best part.
Sure, I can give you the highlights. I started taking guitar lessons during recess when I was in 5th grade because I didn't want to go outside and there were free guitar lessons.
I forgot about recess.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
thought about recess in a long time.
Yeah, and I was not a recess enthusiast, so I chose the easier option to me, guitar
Yeah.
lessons. And so I did that for a couple of years, and then my parents are not musicians, so I did a lot of my music discovery. Although my dad was a DJ, so like he was really in the
cool.
like, top 40 sort of knowledge.
From like what were his like favorite decades?
That's a great question. I have no idea because they really didn't show me that much music. but he has an extensive knowledge of like, you know, when I was a kid, it was like 2000 sort of what was popular. What do you play at weddings and high school dances and stuff? So that's sort of a lot of what I was.
Was he more like a wedding DJ?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay,
wedding,
awesome.
And he did my like middle school dances and stuff.
Oh,
So.
how was that?
It was, you know, it happened.
Your parents are so involved. Your mom's teaching health class. Your
And my
dad's
dad,
doing the dances.
He teaches 7th, 8th grade where I went to middle school. So
Were you in his class?
I wasn't.
Oh, thank God! Right?
But they were my basketball coaches. They were around.
Well, they were around.
Was that terrible or was that awesome? I mean, I'm sure some of both, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm very, you know, it was a good experience. But
they're not listening.
Hi, Mom and Dad. They will listen.
Just kidding. They listen to every episode. They're our best fans.
Yeah.
Like after tonight we are. No, they're definitely like, we said fuck like a bunch of times. They're definitely like, why the language?
They're rocking with it. Good.
Oh, they're cool parents.
Brian and Tamara have been known to drop a
Yeah, I mean the Northeast. I figured. Yeah.
Oh, true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But anyway, that's sort of where I was getting my music.
Recess.
Yeah, recess with the guitar lessons.
So in a way, you kind of were a recess enthusiast.
Yeah, with the
You
guitar.
really took advantage.
Please tell me at the
That's
school
the name of the
dances.
episode.
Please tell me, what was it?
Recess enthusiast.
Recess. Oh, I thought that too. Yeah, I like that.
There you go, recess enthusiast.
Please tell me that your dad at the school dances called himself DJ Dad.
That would have been pretty epic.
Well, now it would have been.
Now it would have been.
Then,
Back
it would not
then,
have
I
been.
think I would have hid in a corner or something. Yeah.
DJ Dad.
Oh yeah, I mean now, like not even now, because like if that had happened, you would be like
A different person.
No, yeah, you'd be like in a home, like
Things took a turn.
in some form of rehab
Things-
for sure. Like, it all started with DJ Dad.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're playing guitar at recess. That's what you were saying before we
Yes.
rabbit trailed you.
Yeah.
And
As we
Sure.
do best.
Yeah. So
and when did you figure out that you could like make a song?
I mean, because of the top 40 stuff, it sort of came a little bit later, I feel like, but I was an early Taylor Swift fan. And
Nice, classic.
as is every young woman my age. But so
She's
you know,
like your god.
a little bit. I think it's funny because she is, and then you hit a certain age where you go like, and she's a business. Interesting.
God is a really strong business.
God is like really into capitalism. But she was the only sort of, you know, like woman I guess I saw at that point who was like writing and singing all of her own music and playing guitar. So that was really inspiring to me. And I think that sort of it is where I started writing songs at like, you know, later middle school. And then it was just talent shows and like open mics and stuff until I graduated. And then in college, I stopped performing because I was studying linguistics and doing other, I don't know, stuff. And then when COVID happened, I went back to Vermont and was in my room like 24/7. But
was the law.
As was the law.
The laws of our times. We're all gonna have fun. Like I know, like well, Gen Z are different, whatever. But like in the future, we're all gonna unite to have a great time about the future people. To be like, you don't know what it was
You
like.
don't
Yeah.
know what it felt like. Yeah.
I actually had a what I thought was a perfect analogy the other day because I was watching Bo Burnham as I do, and because inside his COVID wild his descent into madness
So
in the
good.
form of
Yeah.
a music video which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Kind of to me kind of marked like the tail end of COVID,
Yeah.
but that's not where it started. It started with the Tiger King.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
And I'm like, and I was thinking about it, I was like, that book ends COVID perfectly.
Yes.
We all started with the Tiger King and we all ended as Bo Burnham.
Inside. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were home, locked away, writing
I was
songs
home,
again for the first
locked
time
away.
in a while.
I was taking my like college classes on my computer, and my brother, his school was not remote, so he was away. So I turned his room into my like office classroom.
Nice.
Yeah, I was, as everyone was, going a little stir crazy, and I think I had always wondered what would happen if I put my music online, but I just never did. And then I think that was later 2020. So it was sort of like the height of TikTok being like cool. Like I think 2019 it was kind of cringy, and then 2020 was when people sort of came around to it because of COVID. And yeah, once I started putting stuff on there, it luckily started to connect with people, which was pretty crazy. So that's
how fast
the origin
did
story.
that all happen?
Let's see. The first video I posted probably was in like August, but then the first one that did like pretty well was in like September. So
1 month.
1 month.
Yeah, that's pretty incredibly fast.
And then
I mean, maybe slow for internet time
Yeah.
frames, but like that is incredibly
things
fast.
really started to pick up like mid 2021.
Okay.
So it took like 7-8 months to get like a foot in the door, I would say.
Man, that is just so not long.
No.
That's crazy. Like, how many bands in the past have been like a decade?
Yeah, well, and it's like
It's so
you
crazy.
have access to like DistroKid. So it's
Right.
like I just had like a mic in my room and then GarageBand, and like that's what I did for like a second, and it wasn't good, but it was something, you know?
Right. Like if this was like the 80s and you wanted to get your music out
Yeah.
there, you'd have to like
Couldn't do that.
give someone a cassette tape,
Yeah.
and that one person now has
Yeah.
your music.
Right.
Now I press the button and it's everywhere in the
Everywhere.
world instantly.
Yep.
I feel like I'm just making myself sound older and older and older, but
Yeah.
No, it is
it
wild.
is crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like it's one of those phenomena that like I feel like people don't stop and think about that enough.
No, definitely not.
So it's like airplanes. Because you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the miracle flight for a moment.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like everyone hates going to the airport for the most part, right? Nobody wants
Yeah.
to go and go through the thing, and then you're uncomfortable on the plane, and it's like hot, and then you turn on the little thing, and then your
Right.
eyes dry out because it's blowing you in the face.
Yeah.
And you're just like, can't wait to get off this plane.
Right.
But that whole time, you're flying through the sky like a bird. Like, it is a miracle.
Oh, to have the childlike wonder of like looking out the window
me.
and being like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm
little
that guy.
tiny tree.
I'm the adult on takeoff who's looking out the window like, oh my God! And on landing, I'm like, babe, look, it's a city. I'm definitely 10 years old when
Yeah.
it comes to that. Then
My-
the rest of the flight, I'm just like, this sucks.
Yeah. It's just clouds.
I was 10 on my first flight, and
Yeah.
like I remember like poking above the clouds, and it's like a bright blue sunny day
Yeah.
with the ocean, and I'm like, it looks like the ocean below
Yeah.
of clouds. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Now I sit in the aisle.
Then you get older. Yeah. No. Always the
because
aisle.
Oh,
I want
I've
access to the
never
bathroom, and I
sat-
don't want to ask anyone to go.
Exactly. I don't want to be like, can you get up?
Yeah,
I
nope.
sat by the aisle one time in my life, and I hated it.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I don't move. I don't get up.
Oh, okay. So
I took
you're
a
soldier.
flight to China.
Yeah.
It was from
wow.
LA to Beijing direct, 13 hours. I got up one time.
That's crazy.
And I
Yeah.
really didn't want to.
I read when I was a kid, I was on a international flight, and I read that what you should do for a long flight is you should get up and go to the restroom and walk, like to move your feet,
Right, so you don't
Yeah.
die.
move your legs, get circulation going, and that's going to help you. And so I took that to heart, and that's like my rule. So if I was flying to LA, I would like get up at least 4 times during the flight.
From here to LA?
Yeah,
I would
100%.
not even consider getting out of my seat.
I'm sitting. Yeah.
Once an
Thought that
hour.
was so short.
Once an hour, I'm going to get up. It's not because, and I go to the bathroom because that's the safe place on
Yeah,
the plane where no
right.
one can bother
Like,
you.
you need
Yeah.
a reason to be getting
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't have to use the bathroom all those times.
Yeah.
But that's how I get up. I stretch my legs. I go to the bathroom. I like wash my face because they also say to do that. Like put water on your face because it dries out.
This is a lot
My
of
God.
information.
I put water on my face. If I have to go to the bathroom, I do.
Yeah.
I vape in the bathroom because
Whoa, you can't say that. That's massively illegal here.
I can say that. They don't know.
they don't care.
Southwest doesn't listen.
South.
Yeah.
They're our biggest fans.
Yeah.
So I vape in there. By the way, if you're listening, kids, and you want to vape on a plane, make sure you zero that shit out because those smoke detectors could pick it up in theory. I've never triggered one because I'm stealthy as
We would
hell.
know because you would have been arrested.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but and I'll just stand in there, like I'll listen to some music, and I'll just stand in the bathroom. I'll do stretches in there, like
that's
I'll
smart.
yeah,
I love
do
a
your
stretch.
stretches, and then you sit down. And here's the beauty part: on a 4-hour flight, if you get up and stretch like 3-4 times, like it makes the flight pass faster because it breaks it up. Next time you sit down, you're like, okay, I'm ready to sit down for a while again.
Yeah.
And then you kind of like a little reset. So I feel like I kill it on planes. Everyone on the plane must think I have irritable bowel syndrome. But like, I don't care. I'm never going to see them again.
Right.
And meanwhile, I'm having a way better ride than they are. So sit in the aisle. That's what I'm saying.
That's a great argument.
Mike, slight lift and drop.
But anyways, before we talk about the miracle of flight,
Sure.
which is a miracle,
Yeah.
we were talking about the miracle of your growth on the internet.
Of me getting a music career, yeah.
That is the lamest thing you've said all day.
I felt bad when I said it. It felt weird.
Your
It felt
growth
weird. I
on
don't
the
know.
internet. This
I
is
was
like
like, this is not how I speak.
This is like a children's book, like to
Right.
teach like your growth on the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, okay, wait. So there was something that we were missing here. You're like learning guitar on the recess, and then there's the COVID and
Sure.
DJ Dad, and you're like playing songs. And like, what is it that like during that age that like stuck with you that made you want to keep doing it?
or come
Because,
back to it even,
like,
because you stopped for a while.
You said that you always wanted to, like, I just got so distracted because Sean is in the other room. I hope he knows he's ruining the show right now. No, I just wanted to call him out. Even I hope he listens. I'm going to make him listen to this episode so he hears this part. Okay, anyway. So, like, what is it that kept you sticking around? Because you were saying that you always wanted to see what would happen if you put your songs out, but like
Yeah.
had never done it. But so up until the moment you putting songs out and then like trying to parlay it into like a career type thing, it was something you did for you.
Yeah.
So what is it that like brought you to like back to it, to keep
Yeah.
wanting to do it, to keep wanting to do it for you? If no one ever heard your music, why are you doing it? Like, what is it? What are you getting out of it? Or what are you enjoying? Or what is it doing for you?
I mean, I think everyone has creative outlets, and this was always mine. And I did a lot of journaling when I was a kid, but I think that songwriting really took over that, part of whatever I enjoyed about journaling. And I think I just really appreciate how the process of it, first of all, and like the creation of like bringing something new sort of into the world, and experimenting also. I think it was just like it made me feel like a human. Like sometimes it's hard for me to like recenter myself, and I think that songwriting always has helped me like pull back sort of to what it means to be a human, and that for me is creating. But that's a very
yeah.
wise answer. It's just fun.
You're like, yeah, I like music.
I just
what do you
like
want
it.
from me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, is it like an outlet to process feelings? And
Yeah. Helps me understand sort of, it's hard to pinpoint what you're feeling, and when you write a song about it, it's like, oh, that's what was happening,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Now, for a minute,
Therapy.
though, when you went to college in Vermont? You went to school?
I went to school
Yeah.
outside of Boston.
Outside of Boston?
Yeah.
Okay, still the
Wellesley
Northeast.
College. Yeah.
You
This
were
is
gonna
exactly
be,
where I wanted to go.
Is it? Oh, a speech pathologist.
Yeah.
Well, and you said studying linguistics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That is a drastic, I mean, I guess that's word related, but besides that, pretty
Right.
drastic. Like, what made you want to do that?
Yeah.
And then did you stop because music blew up, or did you change your mind?
I mean, well, I wanted to do it, I think, because I knew I always wanted to have some sort of like job where I'm working with people. And I think obviously that is sort of what I'm doing now. It's like I work by myself, but a lot of it is people facing. And then, I just love language. And I thought it was really interesting just learning about the language development process and how we communicate. So I think it interacts with songwriting, certainly when I'm thinking about communication, and also like the little tiny parts of language and stuff. But yeah, it was a big jump, and it was sort of a long thought process of like, okay, how am I going to switch in terms, like I had this whole life plan that I thought was going to happen, and now all of a sudden I have this new opportunity I could follow, and what do I do? And I think I was just like, I don't know if I'd ever forgive myself if I just like was like, oh, well, that was a cool, thing. People liked that one song, and now I'm going to just forget about it. So
Right. Yeah.
I was like, it's a risk, and I don't love risks. It's not, I wouldn't say I'm
Are you a little
huge,
risk adverse?
a little risk adverse. But it felt like a safe risk in terms of like, I have a degree.
Sure, you got your degree already. You could always fall back on that if you need a kind of situation.
And it's like no
Secret
one
is
the
degrees don't mean anything anymore.
Yeah. And this brings me a lot of joy. So,
Yeah.
So your degree, like, is there any interesting things you learned from your degree that like apply? I imagine it's is it speech language pathology? Is it about like helping people to talk better, people who have impediments or issues or something? Is that kind of the main gist?
Yeah, that's what I would have studied in grad school. I actually didn't even get to that point. It was like, I have a linguistics degree, which was it was a lot of theory and then also a lot of like the parts that make up language, whether that was grammar or like syntax and the little tiny sounds our mouths make and stuff.
Are there any things you've noticed about us so far
Whoa.
through the lens of, or do you notice with other people, like through the lens of linguistics? Do you think through that lens when you're encountering people and like what it means and like?
Sometimes I wouldn't say I normally. It's not really something that I'm paying like super close attention to.
Now I got to speak super clearly for the remainder of this episode.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think it's interesting, sort of the like word choices people make, especially whether they're talking with their friends or like I'm sure that the way that you guys talk on the podcast might be a little bit different than like you're talking with your other friends or like your fiance wife, you know.
I'm sure you were right once upon a time, but it has, at least for me, I feel like
Not
I'm
anymore.
pretty similar. I don't know, Ryan, what do you think? You know how I am more than I know how I am when I'm in like the social.
Yeah, no, we speak very similarly in and out of the podcast, but it is still different. Like there's a different energy to it.
Yeah,
a little more on.
Yeah,
Right.
you're a little more on.
which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that that's sort of what I pay the most attention to. And like I certainly switch. I mean, I don't think like the way I'm speaking now is so different from how I would speak just like in general. But definitely like when I'm on stage, it's like, okay, now I'm telling a story. So I'm like very sort of
You're putting on a show.
You have a very different way of speaking because you're also speaking to like a bunch of people instead of just like one. And that's sort of the stuff that I feel like I'm thinking more about now, having that knowledge.
Do you find yourself being much more like outgoing, easier when you're on stage and things like that?
Yeah, well, yeah. I think because you kind of have to be.
Right.
Or I feel the need to engage, and I think a lot of it is what do you find most appealing about performers when you're in the audience, and then trying to replicate that a little bit. Yeah, I do a lot of like storytelling and trying to get people to laugh and feel comfortable and stuff. So.
Yeah. If you could, if you had to choose, like there was.
And you do.
Okay. Very inside joke here. If you had to choose.
And you do.
Between performing live or writing and recording music, or even, okay, let me break it down more. Writing music, recording music, or playing live. You only got to choose one. What would you do?
That's hard. I think not the recording.
Yeah, okay.
I think probably writing, because that's what I've always done. And it's something that it's like, even if I don't do this career forever, it's something I'll always do.
Sure.
The performing, I get a lot of joy and like fulfillment out of. I feel very fulfilled by performing, but it's very draining in a way that the writing isn't. Like I feel rejuvenated after writing and I feel drained after performing, just because I'm an introverted person and that's what happens. But
I feel that strongly.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you can really enjoy doing something and then afterwards being like, I'm going to go sleep for 10 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
something
my thought process.
that I feel like people who are extroverted have trouble understanding.
Yep.
Yes.
This is a constant thing with this.
Yeah.
I'm an introvert. He's an extrovert.
Yeah.
And I do like to go be around people and do things, but it's draining.
I know.
Like when I get home from this podcast, like it takes me a while to like turn off.
Yes.
Which drives my wife crazy. Because I get home and I'll be like, "Bah!" And she'll be like, "You're in podcast mode. You need to settle down. We're trying to go to bed." Huh?
Does she say that?
Yes. She
so
literally
funny.
tells you, she's like, "You're not on the podcast anymore."
And you know what else, Corinne? I was just thinking about.
Yeah. Like we'll be watching we'll go home, watch TV, and I'll pause it every like 2 minutes and be like,
Right.
"Bah," and But then when that wears off, I am dead.
Out.
It is a problem.
Yeah.
I am barely human. I'm like, don't
Right.
talk to me.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. And we go be in my office for a few
Right.
hours.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, people are actually have no understanding of
I
that.
know.
It's wild.
It's really interesting. It's like sometimes it's frustrating
Yeah.
because you're like, I'm tired. But it's so interesting how people operate. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if we go on a trip, like the trip we just went on, like I need like I need a day to like do nothing afterwards.
Yeah,
Or else
right.
I can't go back to work. Like I'll be so
No.
frazzled.
Yeah.
Like I won't be able to do anything. And I need a day where like I'm not doing stuff.
Right.
Like, and that's the part my wife's like, well, we hung out all day. This should be relaxing. I'm like, no. Look, I love you.
Yeah.
And so it's not your fault.
Right.
You're not stressing me out.
Yeah.
But I just need to go be by myself for a
Yeah.
little while.
Exactly.
But I feel like we can understand their way just fine, right? Like, what the hell is that about?
What do you mean?
Like, I totally get that, that's what energizes you.
Right.
I totally get the opposite and how that might work and why that makes sense.
Yeah.
But why can't y'all understand us, Ryan?
I think you're
Get your shit together.
because your way sounds like pathology to me.
Wow.
You can make that argument both ways.
Yeah. No, I'm fine just the way I am. I don't need people all the time. It's healthy. I'm just kidding. No, I'm actually, when I've taken personality tests in the past, they've put me like kind of in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not like in the spectrum, I'm like in the middle. I'm not a full introvert or extrovert. I'm like right in the middle.
Sure.
People think I'm an extrovert. I assume, it's not like I go to like, you think I'm an extrovert? But I think people think I'm an extrovert because they see me with people and I feel like I'm extroverted with people. But I work alone in a basement recording music all day long. So I have 8 hours to 10 hours of alone time every single day with no coworkers and not one other person here.
Same a lot of times at work, and I love that shit. I eat that shit up. Num, 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 num. That's my favorite shit.
So when I get around people, and this thing with my fiance, a lot that she like at the end of the day she's like tired and wants to like relax and like watch a show, and I want to go do things.
Yeah.
But she does real estate, so she's like driving around being
She's with
on
people
for people all day. Yeah.
I mean, she was our agent, and we worked her hard. Like,
To the bone.
oh man, she's
Looked at
so
20
good. She's
houses.
so great. We looked like literally 20 houses on Sunday
In 2
or
days.
Whoa.
Saturday.
That's a lot.
Like we looked at houses for 3 days and then picked.
Wow.
It was
It's
nuts.
the way to do it.
Yeah. Just get
Yeah.
it all out.
Thanks for helping subsidize my wedding. So anyway, so that was that's the difference. Is like she has to be with people all day and on, and so at the end of the day, she's like fried. I'm all alone, so at the end of the day, I'm like I'm ready to be with people.
Right.
And so anyway,
Yeah, it's rough.
have you ever taken the Enneagram?
Yes.
Do you care? Do you know your number? Are
I
you
think I'm a 3-wing 2.
okay?
Now,
That's
have you ever
right.
taken the Myers-Briggs, the far superior test?
Yes. I'm an INFJ.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So you actually are, because I'm ISTJ.
Oh, interesting. I don't really know about
Yeah.
any of the.
Okay, we share the NF.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's ENFJ.
And
What
you
do they
share
mean
the
again?
IJ.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so E or I is extrovert, introvert.
Yeah.
Could you be the perfect marriage of the two of us?
Yeah, you're like, let's combine.
Blend.
So, yeah, it's extrovert, introvert, and then what is it? S versus N?
Intuitive versus.
Sensing?
Oh.
No, it's the same.
Are you're IS, right?
I'm S.
Yeah. Intuitive versus. I think it is sensing, but I think they all sound the same, but they mean different things. Sensing's like I use my senses to like determine information
What's the
around
T
me,
and
and
F?
the N is
It
like
must be
intuition.
I don't know.
F is feeling versus what's your IST? Thinking.
Thinking.
Yeah, feeling
And then
versus thinking.
J is judgment versus.
And P is perceiving or something.
Yeah.
Perception.
That's way better,
Oh.
Wes. You just brought
Yeah,
up
this is
these.
Yeah,
He's like, I
perceiving.
see you guys are struggling with this.
Yeah.
Here's-
Thank you. That took too long. So that was you let us say
We
too
kinda
many
nailed it,
words.
though.
We did. We got it right.
Sensing
Thank you,
versus
Wesley, for-
intuition.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
So I'm an
you are-
introvert who senses, thinks, and judges.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds right.
Just the most
Sure.
logic H science person. And then you're introverted,
Intuition. Feeling. Judging.
judging.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, your I? Oh, it's an N. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, otherwise,
Because
that'd be
double
weird.
I.
Wait, why is that? Oh, they do an N. Okay.
Because it was not I.
So I'm ENFP.
Oh,
So
interesting.
we're flipped on the first and last two. What are you, Wesley? You're an ENFP as well? Yeah, the funny
Really?
thing is
I wouldn't
yeah.
guess Wesley was an
That's wild.
ENFP.
Dude, all of us ENFPs totally
One of the most
fuck
Y'all
with
common.
find each other.
One of the most
yeah.
common,
You see-
basic bitch
Dude,
personalities.
No, you see another ENFP and you're like, fuck yeah.
See, we got the I's and the J's. We're a little more unique, you know?
Yeah.
ENFPs. So many of y'all.
No, you guys are all like,
We're underground.
that's wwhy you guys were both like, move to Vermont. You don't have to be with anyone.
Yeah, she was like, fuck people. I was like, that sounds so nice. Well, I was just realizing it's been like an hour since we played the last song. We should probably play the next song.
Yeah. What's the next song?
The next song is Little Life, as mentioned earlier in the podcast.
Nice. All about that
All about
bastard's
that
comment
Awful comment that I got. Hope you enjoy.
on YouTube Shorts.
On YouTube.
We should make this a YouTube short.
Yes, yeah.
It'd be a very
Yes.
long short.
Full circle.
This is Little Life.
I hope hell's hotter than you thought it'd be. I hope people stop listening when you speak. I hope that you see me in your wet dreams. I hope karma's the bitch that she's always been. I hope the regret eats you from within. I hope the future brings you down to your knees. Forgiveness isn't working, so I hope you choke, and that you find yourself always the butt of the joke. Now that you are in my eyes, and when you're out getting wasted on something tasteless, hope you lose your mind, but not your patience when you realize you're just some guy. And this is such a little life. Such a little life. For such a little guy. I hope your mother ends up hating your guts. I hope you always give your all and it's never enough. I hope you have no one you can trust. I hope your bridges burn. Hope you never learn how to heal, how to deal with the hurt. And I hope the thought of me makes you squirm. Forgiveness isn't working, so I hope you choke, and that you find yourself always the butt of the joke. Now that you are in my eyes, I can picture you wasted in your unfinished basement, staring at photos of women naked when you realize you're just some guy. And this is such a little life. Such a little life. For such a little guy. Such a little life. For such a little guy. I hope hell's hotter than you thought it'd be. I hope people stop listening when you speak. I hope that you see me in your wet dreams.
And we're back.
So that was Little Life.
His Little Life.
Now, I'm guessing is the name because I know it comes out of the guy's YouTube comment. So was
I love
it
that.
was it like because he must have a little life in order to make the comment? That's just my guess. Yeah.
I think I was just like, God, what a pathetic, pathetic life you must lead if you're like, I can just picture someone like sitting in their basement, like just leaving nasty comments all
Yeah.
day.
It's always in a basement.
Always like a basement, there's like a puddle of water, or
Right, a
is it
little
water
drip.
on the floor? Yeah.
It's like in a tank top and just just
tank
gross
top,
stack of pizza boxes
We're
in the
in,
corner.
we're in a basement right now, so it's kind of
This
like
is a
you've
really
come
nice
down here.
basement.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like you've come down here to confront him, like
Yeah.
on his level, and
Oh.
just be like, "Hey, I descended the stairs. I
Yeah.
descended in order to talk to you."
Exactly. I'm
And
on
I
your
can
level.
ascend out of here. And if you want to ascend out of here, you better heed the words of this song.
Gotta be nice.
Little Lies on Spotify now.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you don't have to say it, but do you still know his name? Like his online name?
No,
that is.
I have
You don't
no
know?
idea, and that's real. Like I mean, it's. I don't go back and look at the comment. I just I didn't delete it. Sometimes I do delete them because I'm just like, I just don't want to see it. So
Right.
like,
But
why?
that's like a
Yeah.
losing battle at a certain point.
I know, and it's just like I'm just gonna delete it so I don't have to think about it. But this one I didn't delete because I think I wrote the song about it, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
kind of want to memorialize
Yeah,
it a
you
little
like
bit.
screenshot it so you never lose that.
Yeah, exactly. I did put it on. I have like I don't have a close friends store, but I have like another Instagram account for my friends, and I put it on there, and so it's sort of memorialized there also.
Okay.
But I don't go look at it because it makes me feel bad.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's funny about the internet too, though, is like we assume like a full-grown adult
Yeah.
writing this, like a person
True. Could
who
be a
has
kid.
their life together
Yeah.
on some level, or maybe they're in the basement.
Yeah.
But like it could really be a 7-year-old
It could be.
who just like
Right.
it could be a 12-year-old boy
Or it
and
could be
another
a
12-year-old boy, and
businessman.
they're like, "Look at this.
Yeah.
This is a stinky, gross girl. I'm gonna write mean things. Ha 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 ha. Oh, you're stupid. Ha ha ha
Yeah.
ha ha. Oh no, say she's ugly. Yeah, they hate that." And then you're like, hee 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 hee, and it's like fully a joke and like nothing.
Right.
But
Usually you can tell though. You know when it's
Yeah,
like
to an extent, yeah.
yeah. Although sometimes you can't. I think usually the ones that like go after your appearance, those are like you're you're probably literally a child, not like you're a child. It's like you're
Yeah.
15. You know.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
But when they're like, these lyrics are baseless and
Is that what they said?
empty and yeah,
no.
Oof.
and you don't know how to say words correctly.
You're like,
and
oh, you're critically
you're
thinking and
definitely
judging me.
yeah. You've definitely got the critical thinking skills going on.
Right.
You know.
Oof. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's so rough. Yeah, I
what it
don't
is.
remember when it got so bad. Was it always like when the internet first started? Was it so bad?
Yeah, but it
I
like
mean, it was, but it wasn't. But it's like sectioned
But-
away more.
I feel like
Yeah.
I knew it was dumb.
Right. Like MySpace wasn't particularly toxic.
How long has Reddit been around? Because I feel like Reddit really has had a lot.
Well, pre-Reddit, I think I might have the timeline wrong, but
Yeah.
the real bottom of the internet is 4chan.
Right, 4chan. I have no
Which almost overthrew the
desire
government.
to explore
like-
that, but yeah,
Yeah, I used 4chan when I was young, when it was new.
yeah.
But even I am like, I don't need to go there
Even
anymore.
Right.
Even I. And I'm on the internet a lot.
I'm like, no more. This is.
But I still
needed.
use Reddit all the time, and Reddit is
Right.
a cesspool of disaster now.
Well, it's like there's sections of it, obviously, and it's
Right.
like the ones that are bad are really bad.
You know what the most toxic pages I've found?
Which ones?
White people Twitter.
What's that?
I love that page. It's just screenshots of white people posting dumb shit on Twitter. That's all it is.
Stupid.
And
Yeah.
it is so toxic. And
It's really bad. Yeah.
that's the only only page I've ever been banned permanently from.
Yeah.
For making like a comment that was like super reasonable, just like, I don't think it was that bad. And they were like, you are the worst and you'll never post here again. But you're right. Reddit is pretty rough. And that's been around as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember Reddit like coming out.
Did you guys know in current events that Twitter changed its name?
Oh, yeah,
But it
X,
didn't because Microsoft has a copyright on X.
Oh, really?
And so
The letter.
as a company name, yeah. I'm sure they trademarked it when they came out with the Xbox, probably. But it's like a legal thing going on right now, from what I understand. I don't have all the details. I'm not a lawyer or an exologist.
I have
so,
no idea.
In either case,
But yeah,
they
that's
just did that.
Yeah.
Well,
Elon just does
but
what he
Elon
wants.
is the greatest troll there ever was because he's a troll who's also a billionaire. Now, whether you like him, don't, whether you think he's a good guy or an evil person, I could see arguments in all those directions. I think he's funny. And I think he wants to be funny, which makes him funnier to me. But it's a little more laugh at him than laugh with him nowadays.
Yeah. I think he's gone
I think he's lost it a bit.
the deep end.
But there was a time when everyone loved him.
I'm not a fan.
Like, not that long ago. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
weird. When you have $1 billion or more, like, things change.
Your thinking is completely screwed. Well, yeah, I just don't think anyone should have that much money. Yeah.
Now, we're getting out of here pretty soon. We're going to wrap up fairly shortly. But before we do have one question.
Would that be in 21 minutes?
That's correct. But before we do have one question that we ask every guest.
And we've never like built it up this much before. Like we don't usually like bring
Mention
it up
it
to
at
the
all.
guests in advance. But because
Yeah.
you had mentioned in like another artist episode, we had to like know if you knew.
Right. And it sounds like you don't.
No.
And so then we've taken that opportunity to kind of like continuously bring it up so that you would be like
keep you on edge,
anticipating.
never let you get fully comfortable.
Yeah, sure.
Not at all.
Anxiety growing. Your generation doesn't have enough of it yet. We just need the anxiety to grow.
Exactly.
No, but if you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do.
Oh, wow.
Now, the important thing to note about this question is I need an answer that does not come from here.
Okay.
And for the
Like
audio,
initial responses, what we're going with.
yes,
just got-
don't cut
All right,
ahead.
Jesus. We have
There's a spiel. There's this thing.
Okay.
Stop being so intuitive.
All right.
INF.
from here.
The head for people who can't see him point
Got
to his
it.
head or into it naturally.
Got
That's
it.
obviously where this is going.
It must come from here.
Want to take a guess what he means?
I see.
But
The
anyways,
heart.
The heart.
If you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do. Now-
Side note, do you remember earlier when I was like, if you had to choose, and
Yeah.
then I looked at him
This was the
weirdly and he
inside
said
joke.
that was the
Yeah, you're
I get
inside
it now. I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm in it.
How
you're a
about
part of this joke now. We didn't feel that bad like being inside jokey around you
Because we knew it
because
was
we're
gonna
like
come up.
you're going to be a
Yeah,
part of it
sure.
soon enough.
that? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're joining the fraternity, the maternity, the
the eternity.
what is it? Yeah, what is
Eternity.
eternity
The
that's all
eternity.
gender?
That's a great question.
Do we have a word for
linguistics.
that? Yeah, you should know this.
If only I knew.
I like eternity. That's
Yeah.
what that- you are joining
Sure.
the eternal brotherhood and sisterhood, personhood,
Personhood?
the
Sure.
eternal
Personhood.
personhood
I don't know. Everyone's cool to be in the community. That's
of
fine.
the question.
How about that?
Yeah, everyone's welcome to this right now,
If you had to choose,
and you do.
and you do.
Now, before we jump into the question, have you figured out the format of the question yet?
Yeah.
Now, what it actually means coming from your heart and not your head is I need an answer quickly.
Immediately.
Immediately.
Okay.
I don't want you to
That
think.
is the word he
I'm getting
uses.
into the
I
space.
want
okay.
the answer from the depths of your soul.
All right.
That was the heart part.
Correct.
Got
If
it.
you had to choose.
And you do.
And you do. What would you say is your favorite kind of turtle?
The snapping turtle.
All right. That's a quick answer. I like it. I
Quick
like
answer.
wait. Oh, the button's gone. Oh, it's not. Wrong button. Wrong button.
That button is like the
Then
release
we
of
just
all
built
tension.
this up for a ridiculous amount of
Yeah.
time, and they give an answer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Snapping turtle, huh?
Don't we all feel better after that last button though?
Ooh, feeling good.
Huh.
Why snapping?
I have no. It just came out. Well,
Yeah.
I think they're really funny. Because in Vermont there's a lot of them, and they always like are in the road. And if you're really nice, you'll stop your car and figure out a way to get the snapping turtle out of the road so nobody hits it. But
Which seems
they're
incredibly dangerous.
they're snapping turtles, so they might take your finger off. I just think it's really. I've seen so many people like use sticks to like prod a snapping turtle out of the road, and I don't know.
That's scary.
Yeah. I think it's kind of endearing also. I
Yeah.
think it shows humanity.
It is. I love animals. I'm
Yeah.
an animal guy.
Oh, me too.
I would probably. Would I stop? Would I be the kind of guy who stops and help with the turtle across the road? I don't know.
I think you would be the kind of person who stops and you'd be the kind of person who sits there and waits in your car hoping the turtle gets out of the way without you doing something, and you would be in the car going, "Come on, little buddy, get out of the road."
I would say that.
Come on. Okay, buddy,
That
come
is how I
on.
talk to animals.
Let's go
Exactly.
now. Let's go, little buddy. And then you might honk your horn, and then you'd wait for him to walk, but he's not walking. And then you'd try. Then you would not get out. You would reverse and then turn and go around the snapping turtle.
Yeah.
And maybe you might leave behind something to try to like warn other cars that there's a turtle there.
Yeah, my wife
Like,
would definitely like making a sign this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you'd put a sign out that says snapping turtle with an arrow to the turtle.
True.
Yeah.
Like
And
Spider.
drop it.
Whoa.
And it would flip upside down. And then your wife would be like, "Get out and change it." And you'd be like, "No." And so you'd make her get out, and she would flip the paper to go snapping turtle.
True,
At which point she would go, "Actually, can we just take the turtle? I want it to be my
true.
pet." And she
Yeah.
would grab it and she would bring it into the car. And then you guys would have a 10-minute fight before you convince her to put it back out. At which
Wow.
point she would put it to the end of the road.
You put a lot of thought into this.
No, but that sounds exactly accurate. That is exactly how that shit would go down. That's 100%. I've known you way too long, and Ryan.
Yeah.
As you're saying, I'm like, you're right. Just not long enough story for
Yeah, we can the end. We're done with being friends. We get it.
Yeah, we've wrapped it up. This is the last
Finale.
episode.
Yeah.
Oh man, but anyway, snapping turtle. Snapping turtle is a decent answer. We do get snapping turtle a lot.
I'm sure you do get snapping turtle a lot. I think it's because it's right there, you know?
Yeah, everyone's got snapping turtle on the mind.
Everyone knows. My other thought was my preschool had a little painted turtle. I couldn't remember the name of painted turtle.
There is a painted turtle
With that
called
much
painted
pressure.
turtle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that pressure
All the
was
pressure.
really getting to you.
Yeah.
And that's all right. Not everybody can handle it.
But I did I liked
stressful.
your why.
Yeah.
Your why was original. I haven't heard that before.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
And that
true.
does not match my childhood. We had precisely 0 turtles
Zero
crossing
There's
the
no
road.
snapping turtles
Yeah.
in San Diego.
Yeah, and
that's probably
they're
good.
not crossing the road if they are there.
They're not- yeah.
Yeah. Now, before we do get out of here, though,
No one said we were getting out of here.
well, we got 14 minutes.
Your response didn't make sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Come up with a better transition, bro.
All right. Before we get out of here, we should let the people know what you're up to, what's going on,
Definitely.
where you're playing. I know you
Sure.
mentioned you're releasing an album, but it sounds like
Yes.
that's a little in the
That's-
early stages.
Yeah, I would say keep your eyes peeled a year from now.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. No, but I have a song coming out with Blake Ruby, who also lives here in Nashville, on August 25th. So that'll be around when you're hearing this also. Yeah, I have some more collabs just like spread out throughout the rest of this year. I have a show I'm playing in Chicago, opening for Mads Buckley on August 20th.
Chicago.
Sweet.
Chicago. That's sort of it for right now.
Love
Okay.
Chicago.
I just put out an EP, actually. We could talk about that.
Yeah.
Called Bad Luck Letting You Go, and I put that out in June. So that's the most
Oh, that's, like,
recent
brand
for
new.
me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, so the podcast I listened to with you on it earlier today
Mm-hmm.
was for the EP that had a very long title. Don't tell me yet.
Oh
It's
God, yeah.
the too small for the no. Too big for the playground,
Yeah.
too small for the big leagues,
Yeah,
right?
wait, that's right. That's funny.
That's like
Yeah.
a early 2000s like punk rock band title.
It was.
I love
it was
that.
really long.
Yeah, I love
I
it.
regret it.
Oh,
Right.
really?
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, I thought it was cool.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
That's
one of my
good.
favorite song titles of all time is, was it Brand New, I Believe You, But My Tommy Gun Don't?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
any brand new
Or like
song with a
Fall
long.
Out Boy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, I was just gonna say Fall Out Boy.
That's our
They
generation.
really-
That's our
Tell
generation.
that Mick he just
Yeah.
made my list of things to
Yeah,
do for today.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we love that shit. I think that's
Okay.
awesome. I love
All right.
a long title.
Well,
I don't
there
know.
you go.
But outside of that, like
When was that? So when was that EP released?
That was, gosh, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So
Okay.
that's the one that I did like alone in my bedroom on GarageBand situations.
Okay.
So that's where I got started, and now we're maturing and working with some really cool people. So yeah,
Moving on, moving up.
moving on.
Yeah.
So the last one you just released, sorry, say that title again.
Bad Luck Letting You Go.
Bad Luck Letting You Go.
Yeah.
And that's available, obviously, everywhere because everything's available everywhere all the time because the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everything everywhere all of the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like my fourth Bo Burnham reference this episode.
That's strong.
I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah.
Now, with the new album, are you slow releasing the songs? Like, are people going to get some of the songs before the album drops?
Yeah, it won't be till next year, just as I'm, putting everything together. But it will be, like, that's sort of the way it goes now, I feel like, is put out some singles and then you put out the album, so.
Yeah. Now, outside of, like, the shows and whatnot that you have coming up, where can people find you online? You have your Instagrams, your TikTok, obviously.
Sure.
There's MySpace. There's Zynga.
MySpace,
LiveJournal.
I don't even know what that is.
That's why I say it every episode, because no one ever does.
My Instagram is Isabel_Pless. Is it Twitter? My Twitter is...
Your ex?
I think it's Isabel_Pless now. And then TikTok is Everything Hurts Man, because I made that when I was 19. And
Nice.
never changed it. So
Everything Hurts Man.
yeah.
Like, everything hurts, man.
Are there underscores?
Yes. No. All one word.
Just Everything Hurts
all
Man.
one. Yep.
Yeah, but when you
Nice.
say it like
All
that, it
run
sounds
together.
weird. You got to say it right.
What is it?
It's everything hurts, man.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is that a meme that everyone knows, but I don't?
No, it's just like, as you get old, like you hurt, and you're just like, fuck, everything
It
hurts.
just hurts.
Yeah.
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 Sorry, you're just old now.
So basically, you're Isabel Plus on everything except TikTok, where your Everything Hurts Man.
Everything Hurts Man. Yeah. And I'll never change it. So
No, that's
you can
great.
count on that. Yeah.
You can count on that. I'll be checking.
I'll be keeping an eye
I'm
on
setting
it.
an alarm
Yeah.
for 20 years from now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If TikTok's still around.
Exactly.
Do social media sites, I feel like
They're
I'm about
hurting
to get into
right-
a whole other thing as we're trying to wrap up.
I think they're hurting right now. I think social media is like,
struggling a little bit.
seems like no one's like having their heyday except maybe TikTok.
Well,
but even that
TikTok
feels
is
like
still blowing up, kind
TikTok,
of.
sort of. I've talked to a lot of people who, or, even me, it's like the app works when it wants to. And like, it used to be like you could really count on it. And now it's kind of like,
Right. But there was like a time when everyone was like, loved social media.
yeah, no, not
and now
anymore.
nobody loves it. Everyone just feels obligated. I mean, some people love it, I'm sure, still, but
social media has become like relatives.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
yeah, it's just kind of a fact of life that you just got to deal with.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't post on social media very often. And by very often, I think the last time was like 4 years ago. Like,
wow.
I just refuse.
You really don't.
I
Yeah.
refuse to do it.
Yeah.
That's why he's not popular.
As opposed to Ryan, who is...
So popular. Do you know how many people just liked my engagement post,
Oh
bro?
my God.
Hey,
That
everybody.
validation is gonna run.
You're going to
at
ride
least
that high for at least a month.
yeah, at least probably a few days till I post more pictures, and then I'm gonna be like, less likes this time. Who
You're gonna
didn't
feel
like
bad about
this?
yourself.
Who didn't?
Yeah.
Ben
Yeah,
Link
social
didn't
media
like
is
this.
awesome.
Weird,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
I do miss the old social. I mean, the other ones I mentioned were very, very old pre-MySpace social medias, which
Yeah.
was Zynga with an X
Zynga.
and LiveJournal. Those were like
Wow.
pre-MySpace social medias that I had
Yeah.
back in junior high or elementary
Wow.
school. But I feel like, I don't know, social media's changed.
A lot.
I'm not, like, I used to love it too. And then at some point I was just like, I'm done here.
Yeah, I think it is the like obligatory performance. Like, I'm so happy you guys look at me being so happy.
Right.
That is sort of, it's getting old.
Well, with that depressing commentary on our society,
Sorry.
Yeah,
go
I think
to
it's about
hell
time
the
for us to get out of
internet.
here. Go to hell
yeah.
the internet. Yeah.
Song title
There you go.
or album title. Just
Album.
saying. You'll have
Ooh.
to wait till next year.
I'll find out. Yeah.
Yeah. But make sure y'all go look up Isabel on all the things, follows and the listens and the videos, and I'll have all the things.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anything else you wanted to add before we wrap up?
No. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for coming
Absolutely.
out.
Yeah, thank you.
But as always, everyone, you guys are awesome, and we'll see y'all next time.
I'm on your close friend's story, but you're not on mine. And maybe we are close, but I'm scared to cross that borderline. You showed up in my dream last night. We were cruising down streets, my feet up on the dashboard of your passenger seat. I woke up different and I took it as a warning sign. These feelings feelings feel like dying. Sixth grade bottle rocket flying. My brain's cruel way of trying to experiment. But falling out of friendship isn't a science. Falling in other ways is a ruthless virus. You're too within reach for me to be okay with it. I'm on your close friend's story, but you're not on mine. I laugh at all your jokes in real life and online. You play me like a new obsession or an old regret. I wish I could explain it, but I can't yet. Still holding out hope for an antidote this time. These feelings feel like dying. Spaceship gravity defying. My brain's cruel way of trying to experiment. But falling out of friendship isn't a science. What if I had a replication crisis? You're too within reach for me to be okay with it. I wish I wasn't afraid of falling. I wish I wasn't afraid. Well, I wish I didn't see you as often. I wish I knew what to say. I wish you wouldn't call me smart. I wish you wouldn't call at all. I wish that around you I wasn't on my guard. Wish I could say that it's your fault. I'm on your close friend's story, but you're not on mine. I play innocent as if this ache's some kind of crime. And I'm sick to my stomach from the push and pull. Sick of thinking of you, sick of crying wolf. I'm done with low blows to my pride. I'm on your close friend's story, but you're not on mine. And maybe we are close, but I'm scared to cross that